game or not to game? That is the question. Narrated by Jesse Levine. Good evening, everyone. This is your host, Jess. And, I kind of find it crazy. Well, not really that crazy. I mean, Xbox has kind of always been going on the downward spiral because, they just don't release games. Like, it's really not that hard to release games. I'm gonna be quite honest with you. I'm gonna be quite frank with you. I find it rather perplexing that Xbox has not realized that releasing games is a good thing for a gaming company. Now, I think this is pretty self-explanatory. I feel like you don't have to, spell this out for, a CEO or anything. I feel like this is something that should just be, at the top of, the to-do list board is games. Not shut down studios and cancel stuff. Make games. And also good games. But, having them be good is a bonus, too, I mean, come on, this is pretty stupid. I'm gonna be quite frank with you. I feel like the solution has been standing in front of them the whole time, and they've been still running around, and they've still been running around like a headless chicken this whole time. I mean, Sony's been fine, Nintendo's been fine, because they've just kept making games. And sure, they have their own controversies, but I mean, a gaming company is meant to make games. And I found this out recently that Xbox closed more, either canceled or closed more studios and games than they actually released games in 2024. And I'm like, there is no way that's actually true. And the more that I think about it, I'm like, do I really need to fact check this right here? I mean, that's such an Xbox move. I'm going to be honest. That just sounds so in character. That sounds so in character for it to happen. I don't know if it's really that true or not, but it's so in character. Halo didn't save the day. Halo Infinite did not just suddenly plaster itself on a wall and say, we have done it. We have saved video games. There's got to be something more than Halo, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's that's probably someone at the CEO office probably fell over their chair and fainted upon hearing that after they poured $500 million into Halo Infinite. They're like, what? Huh? What? It worked in the early 2000s. What do you mean it's not working anymore? Well, it's because it's not the early 2000s anymore. And part of me thinks that the reason why there have been all of these changes at Microsoft with Xbox has just been, how are we gonna pay for Halo Infinite's costs? And that's what keeps me up at night, is I just think that has been the overall just raise the price of Game Pass, cha-ching, cancel game studios so we don't have to pay them, cha-ching, change what we're doing with the console. I mean, that's still technically a ka-ching, but they're going handheld, and then maybe they're going to add the Xbox freezer soon where you can actually store meats and ice cream inside of it soon. Cha-ching! And I don't necessarily know that that's really the plan that was kind of behind it. That's the backup plan that happened with all of that when Halo Infinite didn't sell out like hotcakes back in the 1920s. But even not just that, I mean, they've been spending money on a lot of acquiring studios, things of that nature, and acquiring more assets to their library. But Xbox as a whole has just needed more games. I definitely think Sony also struggles from having a small library problem with the recent releases to PS5. But Xbox, I mean, come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. And so, officially, now that this has been brought to my attention, I am going to save Xbox for the near future. So they recently appointed a new CEO who doesn't have a lickety split of experience with anything. So first off, what we're going to do is get rid of that CEO and put me at the top of Xbox now, because I know all the decisions that gamers want. First, games. What games? We're going to remaster Redfall. That's what everyone's been wanting for the entirety of the universe. All right, now what other games has Xbox had? That's kind of the question. We got to figure out new IPs, new ideas. We have to get like the young bloods in, and we're going to have to work them like dogs to make new ideas to revive Xbox. And Xbox will come back. Xbox will be back stronger than ever before. They'll be so powerful, in fact, they'll have to take out the X and call it Box. I think also one of the big things is looking to reinvent Halo here. That's going to be one of the biggest things that we're going to be doing here. Because, of course, we still have to have, like, the main, like, FPS version of Halo. But I think the Master Chief platformer, going to be quite honest, I think that one, that'll be huge. Now, we make games like Nintendo. We make platformers, except with Master Chief. And Master Chief goes like, boing. And that's what he does, like, the whole time. All right, this coming up with games ideas things is pretty hard. I feel like I don't know. I have this like sudden urge to just like get rid of things, and just like close studios. I see why Xbox has kind of turned out the way it does. Like now that I'm in the hot seat now after becoming the CEO of Xbox, I just want to get rid of stuff. I want to close things down, and I want to. How does our company make money? Huh. How do we make money? You're right. Game Pass will now cost $50 a month. I'm so good at running a company. Yes, yeah, okay, I'm starting to see, like, this whole thing, right? Why would I make games when I could, like, just have games that have already existed and then put them on, like, a library somewhere and then slap my name across it? Yes. Yes! And then put it in a subscription service. Gotta say, you just watched, like, Business 101 unfold in front of your own eyes. You just witnessed me become a quadrillionaire in just seconds. You might be saying it's like, man, this is not good for the gamer. But, like, now that I'm a CEO, does it really matter that much, You're like, I need more games. But I'm kind of more of a fan of, like, just having a... What's the word for it? Like unlimited bacon. Because bacon can also mean money. And I'm quite a big fan of money. I've recently been informed through text message that we've been losing loads and loads of money. So, with that being said, I'm going to have to actually change up what we're doing here. So, first off, we're going to take out a loan from Microsoft. And now we're going to look back at what really made Xbox great. Halo, because Halo put Xbox on the map, and it is the legacy of Xbox. Yes, and what will we do with it? We'll dump $1 billion into it because another extra $500 million will make it even better. I mean, you're watching Mastery at work here. You're seeing the game industry unfold in front of you live. You're understanding the inner workings of how all these operations happen. And I think most importantly, with Halo being our main game that's going to bring Xbox back, what we're going to do is we're going to have... What else? What else do I think would go really good with this? Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Except, we're not going to have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. In fact, we're going to have someone even funnier than Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. No one's going to see this coming from a mile away. No one's going to see this coming. Tyler, the Creator. It'll be hilarious to have Tyler, the Creator, promote Xbox. It'd be the new, like, what is it? Someone who, like, gets a really good, like, on-stage presence. Funny, fits with, like, what is it? I don't know. Money? Yeah, money. Yeah, money. Yeah, money. And then, boom, Xbox will be back. Now, that sounds very good for the short term. So here's going to be more of the long-term plan. So instead of releasing 5 games, what we're going to do is we're going to up the game creation limit from 5 to 10 games a year. And I think with that, we can finally really compete with Sony's like 11 games per year that they release for the PS5. Though that's the thing, 10 games seems might be a little too little for long term. Maybe 10.5. I think 10.5 is probably a good solid number. I think that's a lot of games. I feel like after talking like back and forth on like an email chain, I feel like 10.5 is like pretty solid amount of games. I mean, I was going to ask what you think, but it doesn't matter. I'm the CEO now. It doesn't matter what you think. Man, being like the CEO of Xbox is like so easy. And now looking at our quarterly report, we're up $10. Gotta say, you've just seen the resurgence of Xbox. Now we're going to reignite the console wars. We're going to have boom. It's going to be everywhere. You know, we're going to not repeat the stakes. Ooh, steaks though. That's a good idea. We're gonna hold that on to that for later. We're not gonna repeat the mistakes of slowly letting Xbox decline. We're not gonna make the same mistakes that we did with the Xbox One. We're gonna keep the momentum that we had from the 360 era. So that's obviously why the next console is going to be something beyond the like capacity of like whatever the last Xbox thing came out, Xbox Scorpio or whatever it is, like Scorpion Mortal Kombat. It will be based on our legacy, Xbox 720 or Xbox 1080. I'm in between one of the two. I think 720 works out pretty well. And we're going to attach an Xbox to the skateboard. It's going to be the first mobile console to have ever existed. And not just mobile, the fastest mobile console to have ever existed because it's attached to the skateboard. Not only that, it's also going to feature one of those things that you see in the deli place where they cut like the meats and turn them into slices and then you put them on your sandwich. The Xbox is also going to have that. Not only just that will it have a skateboard, a meat cutter, it's also going to have probably one of my favorite things in the world, an image of Phil Spencer on it. And, you know, I think that just wraps the whole package together. You know, we're trying to keep this all about legacy, our history, and what matters to Xbox. We're not trying to look for gimmicks or things like that nature, or trying to just, like, put all of our eggs into one basket to see if it does really well. We're looking at innovation and bringing Xbox back into the future, especially in 2035. That's when Xbox is going to hit it big. These next 10 years, they're going to be the transitional period of which you see Xbox become the giant that it once was, and not like the Soulja Boy console. And you know, the four major companies that run consoles were Nintendo, Sony, Xbox, and Soulja Boy. And, you know, it's unfortunate what happened to the Soulja Boy in the early 2000s with his console, but it appears Xbox did not learn from that lesson, but now we're ready to learn from Soulja Boy. Did I mention we're upgrading the price of Game Pass to $1 bajillion? Nah, I'm kidding. That was just to mess with you. It'll be $75 a month now. And you know what? We might as well cancel like half the games that we have in our library. Let's just cut our library in half and just get rid of the rest. It's all just fluff at this point. No one cares about playing those games ever. Yeah, let's just get rid of... I'm like, look at me. Gotta say. Pretty good at being CEO. Yeah, you know what? This camera is also stupid. Let's cut it too.